So a viewer dropped a comment on one of my videos recently asking about a footprint indicator. First thing I did was hunt for open source options that hit a really high bar, but the only awesome one I came across needs a TradingView premium account, which costs like $60 per month. That felt like a huge issue to me because, let's be real, everyone's jumping on order flow and delta footprint strategies to trade these days. It's pretty much a must-have to zero in on market strength, weaknesses, and trading opportunities. After digging around for solid free footprint indicators, I stumbled on something I've got to share with you guys. What if I told you there's a good chance the footprint indicator you're using isn't even accurate? From all my research, the footprint indicators I checked out aren't built on tick levels. Instead, almost everyone I tested just chops up each candlestick into smaller chunks. Sure, that makes a footprint, but the price levels for each bar's footprint are totally different. When that happens, it makes the footprint pretty much pointless. You're just looking at volume delta at random price zones that shift with every bar. And that's not how order flow trading is supposed to work. This was a problem that seriously needed fixing, so I decided to roll up my sleeves and tackle it myself. After hours and hours of double-checking calculations, making sure the output was smooth, and ensuring tick levels could be tweaked to fit any order flow trader's need, I'm going to introduce my solution. Before we dive into how this works, make sure to smash that like button if you're pumped to try this 100% free indicator, or if you think this video is helpful. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you know the second I drop a new strategy or indicator for you all. Oh, and stick around until the end of the video where I'll spill the beans on a sneaky feature in footprints that you won't find in any other footprint indicator. It's what makes this footprint strategy stand out from other tools on TradingView. Alright, let's get into why this indicator fixes the big issue I mentioned at the start. If you check out my chart, you'll notice every delta box is locked in at a fixed tick level. That means the candlestick the footprint's based on isn't split into fifths, tenths, or whatever, with delta boxes plotted along the bar. If it was, all those delta boxes would be at different price levels, different tops, bottoms, and edges. But that's not how Footprint IQ rolls. With Footprint IQ, every delta box sits at the same price level. What that means is, if I draw a horizontal line at any delta box and slide it left to right, you can see all the price and volume traded in that price zone tied to one single tick level. This is super important because it lets us track whether traders are buying or selling at that tick level over time. With most footprint indicators on TradingView, we can't really see this in action because, like I said, those boxes are at totally different price zones for every candlestick that pops up. People do it this way because it's way easier to code a footprint indicator like that. Using tick levels and making sure they stay consistent and get added when needed is a lot trickier to pull off programmatically. But I was dead set on nailing it, and I did. If you look at that horizontal line I drew earlier, you can see that at this tick level, sellers were outpacing buyers at first. Then buyers took over for a bite. But later on, sellers came back strong. In the end, at this fixed tick level, sellers are coming out on top. You can't do this kind of analysis if your footprint indicator isn't based on tick levels. Now, one of the coolest things about Footprint IQ is it doesn't take a long explanation to get how it works. It looks just like any footprint indicator you're probably already using. The big difference is that these footprints are built on tick levels set at the start of each trading day. So the indicator is spot on about how much buying or selling volume happened at fixed price zones. On my chart, blue boxes mean positive volume delta and red boxes mean a negative volume delta. Another neat feature is that these boxes have gradient colors. The stronger buyers are crushing sellers, the brighter the blue boxes gets. The stronger sellers are beating buyers, the brighter the red box gets. So you can instantly spot where, on each candlestick, sellers tipped up big time to outdo buyers or where buyers came in hot to dominate sellers, which is super handy for volume analysis. Now, let's talk about the secret feature I haven't mentioned yet that makes Footprint IQ different from every other footprint indicator on TradingView. If you head to the settings, there's this TVD option. When you turn this on, the tick levels in Footprint keep their values, meaning their cumulative volume delta levels, not just delta levels for each bar. This lets you see trends at each price level, whether buyers are owing sellers, sellers are owing buyers, or it's straight up stalemate. With this option on, you can see that at this exact tick level, sellers have been edging out buyers and are slightly in control. But at most of these tick levels right now for Bitcoin, buyers are absolutely crushing sellers. Most boxes are blue and buyers are dominating sellers in roughly this price range. That's super useful info for volume analysis and spot trading opportunities at key levels. So Footprint IQ doesn't just show you fixed tick level volume delta values. It also gives you CVD values at those tick levels, so you can track volume delta trends over time. Plus, you can set the CVD reset time frame. Right now, I've got it set to 1 day. So every new day, CVD resets to 0 and starts fresh. But you can tweak this to 1 hour, 12 hours, a week, whatever works for you. Another awesome feature is full control over the tick level distance. Right now, I've got it at 0, which means the indicator outcalculates a nice looking tick distance between levels. But you can change it to whatever you want. For example, I'll set the tick level distance to 50 now, so each tick level box is 50 ticks apart. Now, you'll see way more boxes on the chart than before. If you look at the latest candlesticks, the boxes are packed tighter, meaning we've got closer tick levels and more precise volume delta values across the smaller price moves. All I did was manually set the tick level distance to get this level of detail and accuracy. And of course, you can use this feature without CVD levels. So now we're looking at delta per 50 ticks across all candlesticks. Lastly, for Footprint IQ, there's an Enable POC setting. This just highlights the biggest gap between buying and selling volume, the biggest imbalance. It's not a true POC like you'd see in volume profiles, but if I turn this on now, you'll see green boxes on my footprints. These show where buyers outdid the sellers the most or sellers outdid buyers the most. The biggest imbalances on the chart. You can totally customize the color coding to match your vibe, but the key is that we can spot trends of which price level sellers or buyers are stepping up the most. This is super valuable info and only really works when footprints are calculated on fixed tick levels, not by splitting the bars into parts like most footprints indicators do. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you want a heads up whenever I drop a new free indicator or strategy. If you found this video helpful, or if you're stoked to try Footprint IQ, drop a like and leave a comment. But if you're looking for a way to code any trading strategy, your existing one or this one or any other trading strategy into a bot with alerts all for free, make sure to check the recommended videos on your screen, plus the 2 other videos which I highly recommend to watch. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.